Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping straight into a really fascinating, highly poetic piece that was published back on January 2nd, 2023. It's called School Without Walls, written by Oluyemi Ola-David. Now, this isn't your standard dry academic paper, so don't expect a bunch of data tables. Instead, it's this incredibly concentrated set of contemplations that totally challenges our everyday definition of what it actually means to learn. So get comfortable and let's unpack this beautifully structured philosophy together. I want you to just sit with this question for a second. Seriously, think about it. What if the greatest school you ever attend has no walls at all? I mean, we're so conditioned, right? We're conditioned to think of education as this thing that happens strictly inside a building, sitting at a desk, staring at a whiteboard. But what if life itself is the primary curriculum? That's the provocative question Oluyemi Ola-David throws at us right out of the gate. She sets this beautifully reflective tone, basically inviting us to tear down the architectural boundaries of our learning and just step straight into a borderless classroom. So who is the mind behind all this? When you actually dig into Oluyemi Ola-David's digital archive, you find an absolute wealth of material. We're talking technical insights, opinion articles, policy briefs, and of course, deep contemplations exactly like the one we're looking at today. She isn't just throwing words at the wall here. She's a highly strategic thinker who archives her insights specifically to influence how we see the world. Her work really bridges that gap between deep philosophical thought and practical real-world policy, which honestly makes her perspective on education incredibly rich. To really grasp the concept of school without walls, we have to understand where she's coming from. Oluyemi Ola-David describes herself as proudly Nigerian, driven by a really profound love for people. She's deeply concerned with global development and transformation. She actually wants to generate real solutions and influence policy. But perhaps most crucially for this specific text, she is immensely spiritually grounded. In her own words, she says, "My Father God owns and rules the universe. He is the wheel within my wheels." When you realize that she views the entire universe as this divinely orchestrated system, while her belief that every single aspect of life is a meticulously designed classroom makes perfect sense. She sees this grand design, and to her, we are all just the students within it. Okay, let's get into section 1, the hard teachers. I'm going to read this quote with a bit of deliberate pacing, because these words carry some serious weight. Suffering is a school. Isolation is a discipline. Wow. Let's pause and unpack that for a second. We spend so much of our lives literally running away from suffering, don't we? We view it as a failure, a glitch in the system or just straight up punishment. And isolation? We almost always equate that with mere loneliness. But she's telling us to look a lot closer. She's assigning a really profound functional purpose to our pain and our solitude. The crucial takeaway here is that hardships aren't just annoying obstacles blocking your path. They are structured environments. Think about it. Just like a school has a curriculum, suffering has a lesson plan. And just like an academic discipline requires rigorous focus, well, isolation requires us to master our own minds. Oluyemi Ola-David is brilliantly reframing our darkest moments here. When you're suffering, you haven't been expelled from a good life. You've actually just been enrolled in a masterclass of personal growth. You're in a classroom where the grading is incredibly tough, sure, but the education is absolutely unparalleled. Moving right along to section 2, tools for the journey. Let's look at how we actually interact with our environment through these 3 simple but really powerful metaphors she uses. First, mind is a lens. Your mind isn't just passively recording the world around you, right? It focuses, it filters, it literally bends the light to help you see things clearly. Then, hand is a tool. This is our agency. It's how we build, shape, and physically interact with the world. And my personal favorite, foot is a tourist. Your feet aren't just made for standing still. They are meant for exploration, for wandering around, for taking in the sights of this vast, wall-less school. She's reminding us that we are fully equipped for this lifelong field trip. You got the lens to observe, the tool to create, and the mobility to explore. Next up, section 3, ignorance versus investment. There is a remarkably stark contrast between these 2 forces she presents. Ignorance is a wildfire. I mean, just think about the nature of a wildfire for a second. It's rapid, it's blind, it consumes absolutely everything in its path, and it leaves nothing but ash behind. It destroys potential in an instant. But on the flip side, she says, time is an investor. Well, what does an investor actually do? An investor is patient. An investor compounds value slowly, deliberately, over long periods of time. Time doesn't burn, time builds. So she's essentially presenting us with a vital choice in our Wallace School. Are we going to let the rapid, blind destruction of ignorance consume our potential? Or are we going to partner with time, let it invest in us, and slowly compound our wisdom? It's just a brilliant way to visualize the stakes of our ongoing education. And that brings us to Section 4, True Education Over Time. I absolutely love the rhythm of these interconnected metaphors. Nature is a field, law is a practice, life is eternal, age is a grade, youth is a disciple. She's really scaling out here to look at the entire human experience. Nature isn't just nice scenery to look at, it's a literal field of study. Law isn't just a set of arbitrary rules, it's an ongoing practice of ethics. And look at how she treats getting older. Age is a grade. You aren't just getting older and slowly decaying, you're actively leveling up. You're passing from one grade to the next in this massive school. And youth is a disciple. Youth is the eager student, following and learning from the wisdom of those higher grades. It just beautifully frames every single aspect of existence as part of one continuous, unified educational journey. So, if we pull all of her insights together, the whole shebang essentially boils down to this definition. The school without walls is a continuous, borderless process of learning from every stage, element, and challenge of life. It means fundamentally rejecting the idea that your education somehow magically stops the day you get a diploma. It means realizing that the really annoying challenge at work, the lonely weekend you spend by yourself, the actual aging process, these are all your teachers. It is an eternal curriculum where you are always the student and the universe is always, always instructing. And this brings us to the concluding, really powerful mandate of her text. Education must be true throughout time. #SDG4. This is where she brilliantly grounds all of these philosophical musings into a very real-world initiative. SDG4 refers to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 4, which is focused on quality education. By tying her poetic text to this specific hashtag, she's making a major point. Yes, absolutely, we need global policies to build physical schools and ensure inclusive, equitable, quality education for everyone. But for that education to be truly transformative, to be true throughout time, it has to go way beyond the brick and mortar. It has to foster a mindset that life itself is the ultimate learning environment. We've reached the end of our explainer today, and I want to leave you with a final, provocative thought to chew on. How are you utilizing your own school without walls? Are you ignoring the hard teachers like suffering and isolation? Are you letting your mind act as a focused lens? Or are you letting ignorance just spread like a wildfire? The curriculum of your life is happening right now, all around you, every single second of the day. Class is literally always in session. Thank you so much for joining me today. I highly encourage you to keep exploring, keep learning, and keep your eyes wide open to the Wallace School all around you. See you next time.